What's going on, boys and girls? My name is Michael SK, and welcome back to the Labyrinth of Grisaia. In the last episode, we witnessed something pretty disturbing, in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people can agree with me, so I'm not going to talk about it. We'll just leave that in episode 3, or whatever episode that was last time, and we'll jump into the continuation here, the Cocoon of Caprice 2. And it looks like we're back here at the school. They found the documents that Yuuji shredded up, and I guess Sachi kind of put them back together. I think they're actually going to, I think they actually have started reading it, so I guess this is where we will be continuing. Hope you guys look forward to this and everything. I was about to say go ahead and leave a like and all that stuff, but it's just plain rude of me to ask people to like the video when we haven't even started, so yeah, anyways.
なんで怒ってんのあんた。だって本人の知らないところで勝手にこういうの読んじゃダメなんじゃないの？ほら、何？ゲロ袋的なやつ。
You know, I usually never understand what she's ever talking about.
ゲロ袋？おそらくエチケットという言葉がとっさに出てこなかったのではないかと。
Again, I still don't understand.
はあ？小峰さん、この子は何を言っているの？あ、はい。親しき中にも礼儀ありと国破れて山がありとが言葉の響きだけでごっちゃになっていて。
These are all sayings that I've never heard of, but are actually pretty cool.
おまけに山がありをサンガーリーと間違えて覚えているのではないかと。
なんだか最近のチルチルってばバカさ加減に隙がないのよさ。360度オールレンジバカって感じ？
It's like it's a sequel and everything's better in the sequel except for Meikyuu. It's just worse.
バカって言うな。バカっていう子がバカなんだからね。まあとりあえずおからドーナツでも食べて一旦落ち着きましょうよ。
さっきから食ってんのよ。OD うめえ。
ね、OD？ おしぼり泥棒？
Oh my god.
おからドーナツを略して OD では？というかおしぼり泥棒ってどこから出てきた単語ですか？
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, so far, 3 minutes into this shit, we're just seeing that Meikyuu's very unbright.
はあ？そんなのどうでもいいでしょ。それって今話すこと？
I like how I just talked about how stupid she is and I just made up a word.
ああ、さっちゃん地味にイラついてる。軽くでいいのでみちる様を殴ってもいいですか？
Yes, please do it right now.
どうして私に許可を求めるのよ。
サチン、私が代わりに殴っといたから落ち着くのよ。
I feel like Sachi would have done more damage.
ありがとう、マキちゃん。
But that's just me.
ちょっと、おからドーナツ食べてる時に後ろからガッてしないで。鼻でおから食べちゃったじゃないのよ。
Good.
鼻でおから食べ放題のおからバー状態じゃないのよ。もう汚いな。鼻からおからを飛ばさないの。どうしておやつぐらい静かに食べられないのあんたは。
It's Meikyuu. We're asking for too much.
私が悪いの？ねえ。はあ、風見くんの過去を知って少しは真剣な空気になるかとも思ったのだけれど、あなたたちにそんなことを期待したことがすでに間違いだったわ。私もまだまだね。
Did they read Did they read the part about Yuuji and his sister? I don't know if that was in what Yuuji wrote, but I honestly would feel really bad if they did read that. What the hell? What the hell is this? Are they actually... What the hell? Yeah, you guys can go ahead and pause this and read this if you want, but the longer I keep this up, it's gonna mess up the video, so.
とりあえずここまで読んだけど、ユージってばこんな過去があったのね。そりゃあネクラのミリタリーオタクになっても仕方がないか。はあ？はあって何よ？何か文句あるな。風見くんの不幸なんてこんなものじゃないわよ。というか、まだ始まってもいないわ。
Yeah, nothing has started here. I know that for a fact.
何？あんたユージの過去とか知ってるの？
Actually, I think anyone would be able to guess that. We're only 8% into this. I mean, come on.
あのね、これでも一応私は学園の運営側の人間なのよ。知らないわけがないでしょ。
Wait, what? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay,
風見く
okay.
ん側から提出された資料には一通り目を通したし、そこから得た情報をもとに独自調査ぐらいするわよ。それでも風見くんの場合はあなたたちと違って開示制限のある情報が多くて調べるのにとても苦労したし、全てを調べ上げたわけじゃないわ。幼い頃に風見くんと小峰さんの接点があったなんてこの資料で初めて知ったし。
Oh, yeah! Sachi.
あ、そうだサチ。あんたユージと幼馴染だったのね。
Hell yeah, she was.
あ、はい。と言ってもそれほど親しかったわけではありませんが。
Not in this timeline.
なんで言わなかったのよ。
一度も聞かれませんでしたから。それに私の過去に直結する大切な思い出ですし、あまり気軽にポンポン話す気になれなかったと言いますか。
Dude, Sachi's the best.
だいたい私もユウくんにこんな事情があったとは知りませんでした。
Oh, that's right. She would also always call Yuuji that. God damn it. You know what, guys? Fuck this. Let's just redo the entire Sachi route in the Fruit of Grisaia.
私と同じように何かお家に帰りたくない理由がある子なのかなとは思っていましたが、こうして改めて読んでみてとても驚きました。
Well, yeah, actually, when we think about, you know, the past and Sachi was there, like, there were a lot of things we didn't know about Yuuji at that time. He was always alone at that park and everything like that. And as Sachi said, not particularly eager to return home. I mean, I guess now we can see why.
私にしてみりゃ、やっぱなーっていうか、ある意味想像通りだったのよさ。
Did Makina's voice actor change? Or something? It sounds a little different to me. That's probably just me, but whatever.
私はお兄ちゃんと遊んでもらうこと多かったから、いろいろな話を聞いてたし、なんつうかさ、お兄ちゃんもガキの頃ろくな育てられ方してねえなーって思ってたし。
I guess we're being called Oni-chan again. After that very long period of time where we were called Papa.
そんでなんか取り返しのつかないことが起こって、もう普通には生きられなくなったのかなーって、そんな風に思ってたのよ。
Okay.
スオさん、分かっているとは思うけれど、イリスさんは別にあなたを責めているわけではないのよ。何？何なの？なんでアマネが落ち込むわけ？それは、
I have an idea why.
じゃわかんないし。っていうか、言いにくいようなことなら無理に聞かないわよ。もう話してもいいんじゃないかしら、スオさん。
Damn, dude. This is why I should have played the Amane route back in the Fruit of Grisaia. But I watched the anime. I'm ready for this.
何？ユミコは全部知ってるの？その資料に出てくるユージのお姉ちゃん、風見和樹って、私の同級生で、私と同じバスケ部の部員だったのよ。
Okay, the basketball team part I didn't remember. That actually doesn't like that seems a little weird now that I think about it, but okay, whatever. But yeah, I know this, guys. No worries.
そう なの。じゃああんたもユージのことを知ってたんだ。
Nope.
名前だけは聞いていたっていうか、ごめん、うまく説明できない。本人の口から説明するのは辛いでしょうし、私から説明する方がいいのかしら。
Damn, dude, Sakaki does know everything.
と言っても私も新聞で調べたこと以上の情報は持っていないのだけれど。そんなこともあろうかと、この小峰幸、先ほどからドーナツをパクつきながらもマキちゃんと2人であたかもジグソーパズルを組み立てるがごとく復元した続きの資料がございますが、お読みになられますか？小峰さん、あなたこの学園を卒業してもスパイで食べていけるわよ。
Man, I think Sachi can do anything she wants. She's literally perfect.
いいえ、私はマキちゃんが選別したものを並べているだけですよ。すごいのは裁断された資料に印刷された文字編を一瞬で記憶して関連付けしながら集めているマキちゃんです。
ほいよ、次のページ上がり。早いわね。
Which is very surprising.
このまま7分に1ページのペースで復元していけば比較的短時間で全てを復元することも可能ですが、どうしますか？続けますか？
Well, yeah.
ユミコ。
I mean, they already started. Why would they just give up here? Their curiosity would be piqued.
だからいちいち私に許可を求めないでくれる？いいよ、続けて。ユージに怒られたら私が責任取って謝るから。スオさん、あなた。私知りたいの。あの事故の後ユージがどうなったのか、どんな風に生きてきたのか。
My bad.
知りたい。
God damn it, I'm always accidentally clicking prematurely. Alright. You're abnormally adorable today, JB.
何よ、突然。
Yeah, I'd like to know where that came from, too. Well, I was just thinking it's been a while since I had some of your coffee. Just my way of showing my gratitude. I'm waking up to the smell of miso soup pretty often these days. Maybe I'm starting to appreciate that sort of thing a little more. All thanks to Amane, I suppose.
あまねちゃんのことは知っているんでしょ？
Okay, wait a minute. Is he with Amane now? Like, is that how it is at this point? Because I'm not really sure. I don't know if Amane's route was like the true route in the game. I thought there was no true route in the Fruit of Grisaia. I don't know anything anymore, I'm sorry. That she was a classmate of Kazuki's, you mean? Yeah, only found out fairly recently though, and that's from Amane's route.
彼女を恨んではいないの？
I don't think she was responsible for Kazuki's death, and either way, it's not like blaming her would bring the dead back to life. I mean, if you'd given me a choice between Amane and Kazuki back at the time of the accident, I would have wanted my sister to survive. But at this point, I'm seriously grateful to Kazuki for protecting her.
あなたにとってお姉さんとはどんな存在だったの？
Man, I thought we already went through this. Kazuki was Kazuki. Nothing more, nothing less. But if you really want something more conceptual, I guess I saw her as something akin to God.
神ね。
I mean, she does seem to be the one controlling teaching Yuuji about life. That's just how much of a kid I was. Anyway, let's keep going with that document. Alright, back to the past, ladies and gentlemen. Eventually, my sister entered a famous private school on the wishes of our parents. Through high-quality instruction appropriate for someone of Kazuki's talents, her aesthetic would mature and evolve, bringing her art to an even higher level of sophistication. That was the idea, at least, but my sister deliberately betrayed our parents' overblown expectations, shunning Takizono Academy's fine arts clubs in favor of the basketball team. Her grades in academic subjects and PE alike were suspiciously consistent 70s across the board. Hiding her overwhelming talents, Kazuki pursued a tranquil, everyday life. That sharp tongue of hers still made a few appearances. Of course, but in a school for rich young ladies, a slightly thorny attitude was nothing out of the ordinary. On top of which, Kazuki was trying very hard to come off as a pleasant, mild-mannered girl to her classmates. She managed to gather a good number of friendly acquaintances through that act. She picked out useful or competent girls from the group for special attention, controlling them like pawns to her own advantage. While controlling is probably a little too harsh, the people my sister manipulated didn't really notice it was happening. Rather than forcing them to do something, she subtly guided them through or towards certain choices. For the most part, they did exactly what Kazuki wanted without even realizing that she was influencing their actions. I was the only one who knew that what my sister was God damn it. I was the only one who knew what my sister really was, and that was only because she discussed her real intentions so frankly with me ever since we were young. Alright, sorry about that. Even our parents weren't aware they were dancing on Kazuki's strings. I was deeply, deeply afraid of her. Kazuki can't be human. Maybe she's some kind of god. I was the only one who understood my sister's true nature, but terrifying as she was, I was also completely dependent on her. I assumed that I would keep living in the palm of Kazuki's hand for many years to come. Right up until the day she left for her basketball team's summer training camp. It was my sister's first summer vacation since entering Takizono Academy, following a relatively uneventful few months for our strained family. Kazuki was participating in an overnight camp as a member of the Takizono basketball team. I feel like I'm still saying that wrong. For about a week, she would be staying at a campground in Nagano Prefecture. She had always been at the center of that lopsided family, counteracting the centrifugal forces that would have otherwise ripped us apart. She was the balanced shaft that kept our household rotating smoothly. And now suddenly she was gone. That week stretched on and on. The anxiety was suffocating, inescapable. It felt as though I'd been left all alone on a sailing boat in a totally calm sea. Only 2 days after Kazuki left the house, my parents began to argue viciously every time they encountered each other. And if I was unfortunate enough to be somewhere nearby, it would usually end with Dad blindsiding me with harsh words and harassment that I earned simply for being a convenient target. The coffee's too damn hot. That was enough of a reason for my father to throw a mug at my head. What the fuck, dude? Seriously? Oh my god, that's abuse. It wasn't the first time something like that happened. God damn. A few days without my sister, and we were already falling apart. Was the absence of God all it took to make people into such ugly creatures? Picking up the fragments of that shattered mug, I watched my mother sobbing impotently on the floor, and found myself praying that Kazuki would come home as soon as possible. I held my breath. I made myself small, like some frightened animal burrowing deep into the ground. I tried desperately to avoid my father's wrath, waiting for my sister's return. Once Kazuki comes back, once God returns, I wouldn't have to hide myself anymore. All I had to do was keep quiet and endure. This nightmare would end eventually. I was used to enduring this sort of thing. As long as I didn't get greedy, I wouldn't get hurt. I wouldn't suffer too much. I'd just be a little lonely for a while. A little sad. It wouldn't kill me. After all, this bed of nails was only a temporary torment. That miserable week had finally passed. It was all but over now. Today my sister was coming home. God was returning. She was never easy to deal with, but having her around sure beat the alternative. In that respect, I suppose Kazuki really was a divine presence in our lives. People who can laugh off the idea of God don't know how lucky they are. That's only an option for someone who's never found themselves completely helpless, someone who's never looked up at the sky and screamed through their tears. In the end, my prayers dissolved meaninglessly into the clouds. My sister didn't get back on time. At first, we assumed the bus was caught in traffic, but after a few hours, that started to seem less likely. The team's advisor, who had been in charge of the trip, wasn't answering his cell phone. We tried calling Kazuki instead, but heard only another mechanical voice informing us that her phone was turned off or out of range. I had a bad feeling about it. As I remembered my bitter childhood fantasies of life without Kazuki, frightening what-ifs flitted through my mind, and I could feel sweat oozing coldly out of my pores. I'd spent years daydreaming about my sister disappearing. What right did I have to expect her to come back and rescue me now? Maybe she'd finally gotten sick of my selfishness and decided to leave for good. That sense of guilt grew heavy as a rock in the pit of my stomach when I learned that Kazuki and her classmates had vanished without a trace. It was as if their bus had been abruptly spirited off the face of the earth. Despite an all-out search effort by authorities along the route and our local police, 2 weeks crawled by with no progress whatsoever. Finally, the investigation headquarters set up by the Tokyo I can never pronounce this word, I'm sorry. Police was dissolved, and the case was entrusted to the National Police Agency as a matter for long-term, wide-scale investigation. To put the matter more simply, they'd halfway given up on finding them. Local search efforts did continue, now personally funded by the families of the missing girls, but to no avail. Eventually, there was even talk that it might have been a mass kidnapping organized by a foreign country. And in the home to which my sister never returned, my father, his principal source of income gone, ranted and raved in a near frenzy. My mother, unable to oppose her husband, could do nothing but grieve and cry. I hid myself quietly in the shadows as our house filled with darkness. And one night, I snuck into my sister's studio to gaze at her half-finished paintings. My sister can't possibly be dead. Kazuki's above death. Blind faith was all I had to cling to now. Maybe this disappearance was part of my sister's plan. Maybe she was living as a totally different person somewhere, enjoying the freedom and normality she desperately longed for. These ridiculous delusions at least allowed me to hold on to some fragile shred of hope. But in the end, even that meager refuge was shattered to pieces. A single student who had been on the basketball team trip with my sister was discovered in a farmer's field, where she'd been greedily devouring cabbage after cabbage. The girl was emancipated and exhausted, but managed to explain the situation to the local policeman, who rushed her to the hospital. Holy shit. On the way back, the team had taken an old, unused mountain road to avoid congestion. Their tire had been punctured, and the bus plunged down a cliff in a section of the road with no guardrail. Fortunately, the bus didn't catch on fire after it tumbled down the slope, but it had landed at the bottom of a deep natural hole, separated from the road by thick greenery that made discovery unlikely. And of course, their cell phones were out of range. Of course. As for leaving to summon help on their own, the walls of the valley sloped over them, making it impossible to climb back up. There was a possibility of escape through the dense virgin forest at the very bottom of the gorge, but there were many wounded, and the group opted for a conservative plan of waiting for help while conserving their supplies. At the bottom of a forest so thick that light barely reached them, the team endured for 2 long weeks. Finally, their limits of physical and mental endurance long since passed. The girls mustered their last ounces of strength for a desperate escape attempt. She was the only one to get out alive. When the police resumed their search based on the survivors' testimony, they found the fallen bus without much difficulty. It was now a crumpled wreck, lying at the bottom of a rocky gorge below an abandoned road. On the site, they found signs of a struggle involving multiple individuals, along with numerous mutilated corpses. Ugh. Some already decomposed to the bone. Jesus! My sister's death was officially confirmed in mid-September. The Takizono Academy bus disaster. Many details regarding this incident were deliberately concealed from the public, and the media supplemented its facts with exaggerated speculation, leading to a popular narrative that differed significantly from the truth in many respects. But at the same time, I had no way of knowing that, and in many cases, there was only one fact that seemed relevant for the Kazami family. The death of my sister. The death of God. It was too much to accept. My father raged, my mother wept. I actively refused to believe it. Kazumi can't possibly be dead. No matter how many times I repeated those childish words to myself, my sister wasn't coming back. With the passage of time, we slowly began to accept that fact, and our family began to crumble under its weight. Oh, Jesus. Despair spread through the house like a cancer. The fragile bonds that had tied us together rotted away with frightening speed. My father was devastated. His overblown expectations for my sister's future had come to nothing. All the money he'd spent on her education was now just another investment gone bust. One by one, the companies which had offered financing in anticipation of Kazumi's career abandoned him. Once the last lines of credit dried up, we no longer had any real source of income. Our living conditions deteriorated visibly from week to week. My family had always been a brittle, makeshift thing. Now, with our only pillar of hope gone, that ramshackle structure gave up even trying to hold itself together. We'd even lost the energy to maintain the farce. Wallowing in self-pity over his misfortune, my father began drinking heavily nearly every day. His mistreatment of my mother and me escalated into clear abuse. He hit the bars until dawn with less than savory friends, often ending up in the drunk tank for bellowing at some hapless waitress. When he did manage to stagger home, he beat Mom, screaming, "I'm the master of this house." Mom hadn't done anything wrong, but she still apologized for every time he started hitting her. Again and again, desperately. I'm sorry. Not even knowing what she was apologizing for, she groveled with every forehead to the ground, whimpering the words like a terrified animal waiting for a storm to blow past. My mother was a very weak person. In the old man's words, she was a woman with nothing going on for her but her looks. He seemed to think he'd done her a real favor picking her out of the bars where she'd been working for lack of any other way to support her. Even I could tell that Dad had never treated her particularly well. Still, she'd given birth to the golden egg. Her position as Kazuki's mother guaranteed her a fairly comfortable life. But now that the role had been taken away from her, and she had nothing left to defend herself with, the same was true for me. With no way to fight back, I had no choice but to endure my father's irrational violence. I was essentially a living punching bag for him to vent his anger on. One night, when he came home particularly drunk, Mom pushed me into a wardrobe. This is terrifying, man. I don't think she was worried about my safety for its own sake. Now that Kazuki was gone, my mother had simply grown dependent on me. I was the only ally she had left. God damn it, Mom, don't do this! Telling herself that was probably the only way Mom could see living as anything but a source of meaningless pain. The idea of protecting her only remaining child was a convenient means of bolstering her courage against the temptation to die. We endured for 3 months, trembling at every sound from the front door once night fell. Finally, my mother could take no more, and the two of us left that hellish house hand in hand. There weren't any relatives to take us in. Mom had never really held a job outside of a nightclub and knew little of the world. With no real plan, we fled to Mobara and Shiba, the city where she'd grown up. She rented an apartment not far from her childhood home and told me that we'd be living there as a family of 2 from now on. Only 2 weeks later, before we'd even settled in, my father tracked us down. Oh no, Dad, go away! Screaming with rage, he knocked my mother to the ground, kicking and punching her viciously. And for the first time in my life, I stood up to him. Stop it, Dad. Mom didn't do anything wrong. My father's eyes went wide at my unexpected interference. Releasing his grip on his wife's hair, he turned and struck me hard in the side of the face. The impact was so strong I could feel my brain rattle against my skull. Stunned, I fell down onto my backside. I was only a child. No matter how hard I fought, I couldn't hope to match the sheer strength of a grown man. Still, I couldn't just crawl away. Now that Kazuki was gone, it was my job to protect my mother. She was the only thing I had left, and I understood all too well how miserable it felt to have no one on your side. I clung stubbornly to my father's legs, holding on even as his blows grew increasingly brutal. Mom had found the will to live by protecting me, and by taking that beating for her, it felt as though I discovered some point to my own existence. Maybe this was the real reason I'd been born. True, I was defective compared to my big sister, but now that she was gone, I wasn't so meaningless anymore. I was the backup, the one who'd bear the brunt if Kazuki died. It all felt very clear to me now. Come on, dude, just call me a piece of shit. I know you wanna. Oh, shit. My father swung his arm down furiously, catching me square in the temple. The cheap gold watch in his wrist must have struck my face. There was a dull crunching sound from my nose. Lukewarm blood began to ooze slowly down my forehead. When Mom saw the blood on my face, her voice rose to a frantic scream. Yeah, this is just terrible. Jesus.
もう俺から逃げようだなって考えるんじゃねえぞ。どこへ逃げても必ず探し出すからな。
In the end, I suffered a cut to my head that would take 8 stitches to close. Mom apologized countless times as my father ground his foot against her head, and the 3 of us went back home. Wow. That's crazy. So, that's where we're gonna stop it because holy shit. Still in the Cocoon of Caprice 2. And I guess the percentage in the top right will not change until we finished, you know, a chapter or whatever. Which is fine. Now I understand how that works. But thank you very much for watching, boys and girls. This was a tough episode. And now I understand why people are, have really been wanting me to read through Amine's story, her route in the Fruit of Grisaia. But I watched the anime, so I'll be able to keep up. I just have a few questions that I asked during this session. Or at least one, I think. Like, what is Amine's relationship with Yuuji right now? That's the only thing I don't understand. But whatever. Hopefully I figure that out and get some clarification. But anyways, again, thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you guys next time here in the Labyrinth of Grisaia. Take it easy, guys.